Brilliant. Thanks so much, George, for sparing a few minutes. We know you're very busy. As you know, we've got a charity event, Palestine.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Wonderful poster. Great idea.
Thanks very much at Batley Cricket Club, and we've also got a ladies' event as well. So, me and Jabir, just got a couple of questions for you. A lot of people respect you in our community, and we just wanted your input on what's really going on in Palestine, and also what we can do in Palestine, and just a plea for really people in Palestine just to help us out as much as we can.
Well, firstly, let me congratulate you for this initiative, which is particularly Yorkshire initiative. Batley is one of my favourite places on the earth. Some of my closest brothers are from Batley, and I've many times been there. If I wasn't the MP for Bradford, I'd like to be the MP for Batley. Wonderful people, and of course, being Yorkshire, they're also great cricket lovers. And so this mixture of Palestine and cricket is guaranteed, I would think, God willing, to be a success. But it needs to be organised in order to be a success, and you've organised it. So congratulations to you, and I'm confident that the people of Batley will turn out in big numbers, and if the rain stays off, really big numbers. I mean, there's no reason why the whole of Batley shouldn't make an appearance at this event. We've just been celebrating the Eid, whilst the Palestinians celebrated Eid with a new raft of funerals and massacres in Gaza. There can never have been a more important time for people to step up to the plate and to give. And I'm hoping that you can raise, there's no reason why you can't raise in excess of £25,000 in Batley in a day. You could even raise much more than that. And it's very, very important that you do. You asked me what can be done. Well, the Palestinians need many things. Some of them they need more urgently than others. The first of those is they need something to eat. They need a bandage to bind their wounds. They need a roof over their head. The doctors and nurses and health professionals in hospitals that are themselves under bombardment. This is something new. There have been occasions in the past where ordnance fell on hospitals, and ambulances, for example, were targeted and destroyed. But this is now a systematic attempt to destroy the medical facilities in Gaza. Al-Shifa Hospital has been regularly and savagely bombarded. Other hospitals have been attacked. United Nations schools and shelters have been deliberately attacked. That's why we can now say that this operation is genocidal, in the sense that its intention is to clear an area of all people, either by putting them under the ground dead or somehow getting them out of that territory. I suspect that they hope that the Palestinian people will climb the fence at Rafah and into Egypt, and they will never be allowed to return. I don't think that that's going to happen. So that means they're either going to survive or they're going to be under the ground. And we have a duty, a very clear one, a wajib, to stop that from happening if we possibly can. So they urgently need your help financially, and the finances, the financial aid, has to be channeled through reputable organisations that have a track record of getting it to the place it's destined for. That's urgent, necessary, but not sufficient. What we need to do is turn the tables to change what they call the paradigm, change the picture somehow by changing the balance of force. Because at this moment in time, the Israeli state has all the cards. The people in Gaza are trapped, they can be mercilessly attacked, they don't have proper means to defend themselves, and no one is coming to their defense. So you have what the Americans call shooting fish in a barrel, and that's exactly what's happening now. So we have to change that. How can we change it? Well, unlike some British Jews, we're not able to go there and fight. It turns out that British Jews are able to go there and fight in a foreign army and come back here and nobody's going to question them at the airport. If a Muslim from Britain, from Batley, went to go and fight for the Palestinians, they'd be arrested on their return. So we can't do that. But we can fight here. We can target and boycott businesses that are heavily involved in supporting the state of Israel committing these crimes. And some friends of mine have started this Bradford boycott campaign, which is really catching the public's attention, spreading. Thousands of people have signed up to it, spreading massively. So we have to stop buying things from companies that are using our money to help Israel carry out these crimes. It's not rocket science, and there are alternatives. You can buy this rather than that. You can shop here rather than there, and you must. It's really an absolute, I mean, I'm amazed at the number of places that I go where products are being offered around, where it's just carelessness, because if you point it out to them, sometimes I'm too polite to do so, why are you offering me this when the makers of that are supporting Israel? We have to be much more smart and dedicated to this. Women, for example, are buying cosmetics all the time from companies that are deeply involved with Israel, when there are loads of cosmetics, the same product, on sale for people who are not involved in that.
Just on that, George, then, how effective do you think the campaign is? Because through social media, the message is getting out, and locally, at supermarkets like Tesco's, we see is empty, but a lot quieter than it has been over the last few years. Do you think that if we continue to sustain this, that there will be an effect on these types of organisations?
There already is. Let me give you a clear example. SodaStream, making these jet propellant soda for drinks. They thought they were being very smart in hiring very beautiful young actress, Scarlett Johansson, to be their face. This caused an immediate problem because Scarlett Johansson was an Oxfam ambassador. So Oxfam said, how can you be the face of SodaStream, which is actually being produced in illegally occupied Palestinian land, and be an Oxfam ambassador? She chose the shekels rather than the kudos of being an Oxfam ambassador. So she resigned from Oxfam, became the full Monty ambassador for SodaStream. This caused such a public controversy that SodaStream's practically gone out of business. Its sales, its share price have all collapsed. People who didn't even know the existence of SodaStream are now picketing outside SodaStream shops and outlets and so on. So it definitely works. Tesco, we could end up putting Tesco out of business. Tesco was already in trouble. Now that we're targeting it for its sale of goods coming from illegally occupied lands, we could end up putting it out of business. It really works. Israel has lost, even in the last 4 weeks, of its share price. If you imagine Israel as a company having a share price, its share price has been virtually wiped out. And you rightly identified the mechanism. It's social media. Forget getting into the TNA. Forget getting on to News at 10. First of all, hardly anybody is now watching these things and buying these things. And secondly, they're not going to put us on anyway. We have to make our own media. We have to break up. And that's what we're doing. There are millions, tens of millions of people in Britain today know exactly what's happening in Gaza. And almost none of them know it from the mainstream media. They all know it from our own media. Like this video you're making now. Thousands of people will see this. Way beyond Batley. People will be watching it in San Francisco and in Venezuela. That's the kind of range that we've got now.
So one of the important questions that I wanted to ask was, going back to Palestine, is, for me, the little news that I do watch every so often is Hamas. Hamas is doing this, Hamas is doing this. For me, it's just a little bit of BS, an excuse for Israel to attack the Muslims and just to fool the Western world and the Muslims even. What's your opinion, and how much influence and resistance are Hamas having? Because I've been to Palestine in April and I didn't see anything from Hamas. There were just poor people with stones.
Well, that's right. First of all, 75% or more of the people who've been killed, and even more of a percentage of those who've been wounded, are civilian people that are not in any political organisation, let alone an armed one. And most of the people who've been killed or injured have been women and children, who by definition are not in Hamas. These babies that are being carried out dead and scorched from the rubble are not in Hamas. So even if Israel was telling the truth that Hamas are using the civilians as human shields, what kind of a country kills the human shield? I mean, if I took you as a hostage now, God forbid, and took you outside, would the police kill you to get to me? No. They wouldn't dream of opening fire because I had a human shield. But of course, it's not even true. Hamas don't take people as human shields. Jeremy Bowen, the respected BBC commentator, has already gone on the record. He's there in Gaza. He said, I haven't seen any evidence of Hamas using people as human shields. Who are Hamas? Well, first of all, when they say Hamas, they mean the official police force and the official security force of the Palestinian people in Gaza. The Palestinian people in Gaza elected Hamas. So, whether you like them or not, as it happens I don't like them, whether you like them or not, they have every right to be the police and security forces in Gaza. And all they are doing is defending their own tiny piece of land, which is being besieged and is now being invaded and destroyed. And so anybody who takes up arms to resist this in the illegally occupied territories should be supported and honoured. And when they fall, they will, I'm sure, be martyrs, because what they're doing, they're defending their own families and their own house in an illegally besieged or occupied territory. But there are many factions. Hamas is only one of them. But my last point on that would be this. I'm old enough, sadly, to remember the days when Hamas hadn't been invented yet. The Israelis have been massacring Palestinians for decades before Hamas was even founded. Makes no difference to them. The only good Palestinian is a dead Palestinian for them. And if not dead, then run away to Canada or Argentina and never coming back. That's the only kind of Palestinians they are prepared to leave alone.
George, one of the frustrations that we see regularly is the underreporting on our national media, whether it's the BBC or Sky. And also, just to add, the fact that the Arab world, the powers that be within the Arab world, have been so quiet about this. Why is that?
Well, Sky and Fox, who are sister channels, of course, we can't do anything about it because Mr. Murdoch owns them, although Prince Walid bin Talal bin Abdulaziz Al Saud is the co-owner of Fox News and Sky News. So one of the Saudi royal family is owning Fox News. That is a nightly assault on Muslims and on Arabs. And Sky News is not that much better. But we can't do anything about it. The BBC, we own and we pay for it. And if we don't pay for it, we get fined. Actually, in the past, we got sent to jail. The law's changed on that now. We've got a right to demand that the BBC tells the truth. And that which it does tell should be true. But we've also got the right to demand that it should tell what's happening. And they're not doing that. So we have to complain. I'm refusing to pay my BBC license fee. If enough people join me in refusing to pay their BBC license fee, the BBC will go out of business. And they'll have to pay attention to us. So I urge everyone to refuse to pay their BBC licence fee. You can't go to jail for it now, you can't even be fined for it now. It's a civil offence rather than a criminal one. As to the Arabs, well, the Arab world is ruled almost without exception by puppet presidents, corrupt kings, who are not worthy of the title president or king. In 1973, the late King Faisal issued an order that Saudi Arabia would no longer produce oil, would no longer send oil to countries that were assisting Israel in its crimes. He died soon afterwards. He was assassinated. People say to me that King Abdullah today will not do the same because he doesn't want to end up as King Faisal did. My question is, why not? King Faisal is in heaven. King Faisal is in heaven. He was an old man. How many more years had he left? He was Shaheed. He's in heaven. Now, without waiting for the judgment day. If I was King Abdullah, aged 89 or 91 or whatever he is, I'd go for that option. I'd do the right thing right now. And if somebody killed me, I'd know I'd be in paradise. Trust me, he's not going to paradise any other way, in my opinion. So why don't these Arab leaders do it? Because they're not leaders. They're not even Arabs. They're slaves to Israel and to the West. God damn them all.
Just a quick one, I know you've got a few minutes there. Just a last cry out plea to Batley, if you please.
That's really important. The whole of Batley has to be at this cricket match. It's going to be a great day out, apart from being a great thing. You really need to be at the Batley cricket ground, charity cricket match, helping that child stay in Palestine and stay alive, inshallah. Best of luck, brothers.
Nice to meet you, George. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much. And a great salute to the great people of Batley.
Thank you.